Hi guys, welcome to BodyClocq Personal Training in Nottingham. Today we're going to show you how to do squats properly. I'm going to get myself out of the way and let Lawrence demonstrate, and we're going to walk you through all the different possibilities. Okay, the problem with squats most of the time, and things you'll see in the gym a lot, especially in classes like body pump, is when people are doing squats, rather than going for a full depth squat, they tend to lean forward and put a lot of pressure on their back, okay? So as you can see there, Lawrence isn't really getting deep enough, he's just working from his hips, and if there's any weight on that bar, it's going to put a lot of pressure on his back. Okay, so now Lawrence is going to show you how it should be done. So you can see he's getting into a full squat there, with his bum going just below his knees, keeping his chest up and his chin up as well. Okay, now how can we get to that point? Well, one of the first things you need to do is make sure you've got the correct balance. And to do that, you can do a supported squat holding on to a piece of equipment. So Lawrence is going to use our power cage here. So he's just giving himself a little bit of support and just teaching his body how to get all the way down, opening out the hips. And again, you can see he's getting nice and low there, keeping the chest up and keeping his head up. Okay, the next thing you need to be looking at is how you can actually ensure that you get the right depth and also keep your chest up. So Lawrence is going to show you how, using a medicine ball and a bar, you can do both of these. So he's going to have the bar on the front of his shoulders. You're going to see he's not actually going to have his hands on the bar. The bar's resting on his shoulders. And he's just going to squat down, all the way down to the medicine ball, touch, and back up. So he's not rushing it, he's keeping it nice and controlled, all the way down. Okay, so what you can see here is if Lawrence did lean forward, that bar would end up rolling off his shoulders, like so. Okay, so just by keeping the bar on the front there, using the ball, you can ensure the chest is up and he's getting deep enough. Okay, excellent. So now, once we've learned how to do that, you can get rid of your bar, get rid of your medicine ball, and then just practice bodyweight squats. That's one of the key things here, is make sure you can do bodyweight squats before you worry about getting barbells on your back or using anything else. You need to make sure you can do the correct movement, get all the way down and all the way back up. Okay, so what do we do once we can do bodyweight squats? Well, the first thing is what we call a goblet squat. And you're going to see Lawrence is going to hold a dumbbell as if he's holding a goblet. So you've got hands either side of the sort of top end of the dumbbell. And again, he's going to perform exactly the same movement all the way down, chest up, head up. But obviously he's got the extra resistance from the dumbbell. Okay, similar to that is the kettlebell squat. Now, kettlebells are something we use a lot here at BodyClocq for a variety of reasons, but you're going to see here two ways of doing the kettlebell squat. The first one is with the kettlebell in the rack position. So Lawrence is just holding it in the nook of his elbow, and again exactly the same technique. The next one is what we call the steering wheel squat, where Lawrence is going to hold the kettlebell as if he was driving a car, and down, again same squatting technique. Okay, and then from there you should be ready to then graduate onto what we did at first is the barbell squat. What we're going to look at now is flexibility, because a lot of people struggle to do squats, not because of weight or anything, but just because of flexibility issues. Now, squatting technique is something people have written whole books on, so we're not going to go into it in too much detail, but the three key areas where people struggle is calf flexibility, hamstring flexibility, and hip flexors. Okay, so Lawrence is first going to show you a calf stretch to help loosen up the muscles at the bottom of your leg. Okay, so just pushing, really stretching out the back leg there, the calf on the back leg, in this case Lawrence's left leg. And that's going to help loosen up those muscles. And that will help the ankle move into a further range of motion. And again, help the depth on the squat. The next one is a hamstring stretch. Again, if the hamstrings are tight, you're going to struggle to get your bum below your knees on the squat, and you'll end up leaning forward. So Lawrence is just stretching out the hamstring there. As you can see, he's keeping a nice flat back, so he's not leaning towards the floor and bending his back. He's keeping his head up, a nice flat back. Okay, finally, the hip flexor stretch. Your hip flexors are what run across the front of your leg, across your hip and almost into the front of your spine. These can get very tight if you sit at your desk all day. And again, as you're going into a squat, if your hip flexors are tight, it's going to pull your torso forward and make those mistakes we saw Lawrence doing at the start. So there is just stretching out the hip flexors. Lawrence, if you can just show us which area you're stretching. Just across the leg and across the hip. Okay, so if you can perform those stretches, you want to try and make sure you're holding them for at least a minute. A lot of people do 20 to 30 seconds, and that's not enough time to let the muscle relax off. Okay, so a good minute on each of those stretches. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to do squats properly and how to improve your flexibility so you can make sure you can get low enough. That's John and Lawrence from BodyClocq Personal Training. Thank you.